On today's episode of Homeworthy, we're taking you inside this stunning mansion in Dallas, Texas, where 25 interior designers were each tasked with transforming a different room in just 8 weeks. Chicago-based interior designer Kim Scodro reimagined a challenging narrow space and turned it into an inviting glamorous dining room. Inspired by a 1948 Vogue cover by Cecil Beaton, Kim channeled timeless elegance with Gracie's custom blue metallic wall covering and exquisite plaster moldings that set a magical scene. With custom banquettes of fabulous tablescape and antique chandeliers, Kim has created the ultimate setting for cocktails and dining that seamlessly blends luxury with functionality. Enjoy and welcome to the Kips Bay Show House. You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi Homeworthy, I'm Kim Scodro and welcome to the dining room. Our space was designed surrounding the Cecil Beaton photograph that was a 1948 Vogue cover. It's this gorgeous photo of women in beautiful Charles James gowns, and it looks like they're preparing to go out for a fabulous evening. And so we wanted to recreate a room that was that same type of room that would be for women and men of 2024. When someone comes into this room, I hope that they feel warm and comfortable and at ease, all while still being surrounded by a lot of beauty. One of my favorite things about this room is, of course, the Gracie wallpaper. Gracie just makes everything better. The beautiful outdoor scenery with the birds and the flowers just evokes this feeling of comfort, and I think all of Gracie wallpaper does that. And so I was very honored to be able to use it in this space. We were lucky enough to have Hickory Chair create custom pieces for us for this dining room. They did a gorgeous coral, almost rufus color dining room table in a high gloss finish and beautiful silver plated chairs. They also created an armless settee that has this impeccable detail on it with its piping and its box pleat. Absolutely beautiful. We're very appreciative that they created these custom pieces for us in such a short time. Kips Bay runs on a very, very tight schedule, and everything has to be planned out. There isn't really room for change. So once you've come up with your design scheme, you need to stick to it and follow through. By not staying on schedule, you affect not only the other people's space, but the progress in your space. So I actually enjoyed that timeline because it causes you to focus and, different than a project, different than an interior design project, because you focus on it, you're making the decisions, you're not looking for any other person to make a decision for you, so that helps it run a little bit more smoothly. We were given the dining room, room number 4, and it was a bit of a challenge. The room is long, it's narrow, it has no windows. There is a main thoroughfare in the middle of it that goes from the rotunda to the salon. So we didn't want to put a dining room table in the center of the room, and so we wanted to create 2 spaces. We used our inspiration from the Cecil Beaton photo that was on the cover of Vogue in 1948, and you'll notice the women are dressed in these gorgeous gowns. Rumor has it, each gown can weigh up to 32 pounds. They're just beautiful, and they look like they're going to have this lovely evening out, so we wanted to create a space that would allow them to be able to recreate that in 2024. So we took this room and we made 2 spaces. And if you want to come over here with me, I'll show you. We have this seating area over here, and we have some built-in banquettes covered in a gorgeous pinstripe silk. We were really excited to be able to create this custom piece with Hickory Chair in this gorgeous rufus color. It's not really orange, it's not really red, it's not really pink, but it's beautiful. And these gorgeous Sanderson fabric and Samuel & Sons trim really tie it together. But it's a lovely space to come, have a cocktail, sit and enjoy, have conversation, and then either go out to dinner or walk right across the way into the dining room and enjoy yourself. And I think that's something that we take for granted and everybody should think about in their own home. These homes have dining rooms and maybe they're used 3 times a year. Use them. Make them into a library dining room. Make them into a sitting room dining room. Have 2 spaces so you can have intimate dinners in there. I just think taking your space in every room in the house and really thinking about how you want to live in it and not living in it for just Thanksgiving and Christmas or holidays. I think that's a really great idea. And we tried to do that here. If you want to go back over to the dining room, that was another exciting thing that we did, was we did this gorgeous lacquer finish with this gold leaf trim on the dining room table, and then the silver leaf finish on these chairs. And that bit of mixing the metal, I think, always adds a warmth to the space. And we used this photograph and these women, the women's beautiful dresses, to create this drapery. And each one of these, I mean, if you can't find the fabric you love, you can make the fabric you love. This is all different pieces of fabric that are sewn together to give this effect and incorporate all the different colors. We were faced again trying to realize what we should do and think about this in your own home. If you need to bring light in because you don't have it, or you want to add some different reflective value, high gloss your ceiling. It's well worth it. We high glossed this ceiling and all of a sudden the room just came to life versus just a flat finish on it or even a wallpaper. We think that reflective ceiling really helped. It was a very interesting entry into interior design for me. We've had our firm for about 17 years. Our team is everything. We collaborate on all of our projects, which I thoroughly enjoy. But I started out, my training was, I was a home economics teacher with an emphasis on clothing construction and interior design. So after I decided to get into interior design, I went back, became accredited with ASID and all of the other fun things that you have to do, and I've never looked back. But I will say that my training in home economics really helps. I have a beautiful understanding of why the drapery workroom is charging what they charge. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of labor, and I have a true appreciation for that. The thing I love most about what we do is creating homes for people, creating homes for family. Whatever you consider a home is what your home should be. And I really love getting to know the people that we're working with and giving them exactly what they want and maybe even a little more. It was interesting how we decided what we were going to do with this space. Being faced with no windows, we needed to bring a little bit of nature in, a little bit of light in. So having reflective mirrors really helped. Since we didn't have windows, each opening we added drapery to create or mimic the look of a window. And then of course the wallpaper brought the outside in for us. And we wanted it to be a little bit formal but also fun. And so the colors that we used, we gained so much of that inspiration from the Cecil Beaton photograph that was on the cover of Vogue and what the women were wearing in the women's dresses. Each one, I don't know if you look at the window treatments or the draperies, those are actual pieces of fabric that are all stitched together. It's not one continuous piece of fabric, they're all stitched together to create that. So some details that you can add to your space and things that will just make people feel comfortable when they come to your house. For example, we had little matchbooks made that say the timeless dining room on them. It's just a nice takeaway. They're not expensive, and if you have things like that made, it's so fun for people to take, and they might go to light a candle at home and remember what a great time they had at your house. I also think when you think about the details, and if you think about your home and when you're entertaining, what is going to make someone feel comfortable, right? Usually it's the host or the hostess that is nervous, but remember, people coming into your home, they're a little uncomfortable too. So anything you can do to make them more comfortable, I think is really helpful. And we sort of designed this seating area so no one is left out. No matter where you're sitting or standing in this room, you're feeling part of the conversation. This settee, while it's not exactly something you're going to lounge on, it's great for cocktails, it's great for sitting and talking to people. And we love the shape of this. It was something different, and we wanted to bring in, it's a pretty delicate fabric and this really fun Samuel & Son fringe on it. But we wanted to bring in some more colors, some deeper colors to help balance this rufous tone armless settee. So we thought bringing them on this light built-in banquette would help. I don't know, you tell me if you think it helps. Some people might not like it, but we also created this bar because what was here was a dusty brown built-in. And so we had a local plaster company create this surround for us, and the mirror over here on that side. And we had this bar, but it was just, we wanted to bring color. We didn't just want to do a built-in. So we had this drape made for it with some gorgeous fringe on the bottom that's a little glamorous. And it's just we had hand painted, a local artist hand painted some beautiful details on it. But everything isn't fancy. Our beautiful glasses here are from Amazon. So everything doesn't have to be fancy all the time. But I think creating a space that's comfortable, another trick, and if you might have this at your house, but if you have a door that you don't love, we hired a carpenter, and he was able to remove this really large reddish mahogany door and make a gyp door. So this is actually a big closet in here. And he made us this door that's hidden, and we covered it in wallpaper so it disappears. And I think this is an inexpensive way to create another dimension, another space to your room, especially in rooms like a kitchen, a pantry, for example. You don't want just this door in the middle of your pantry, but if you can create a door, a hidden door, that's really helpful. It's hard for me to talk about one thing in particular that I like most about this room, but I think probably the most important thing is how I feel when I walk into it. It just feels comfortable to me. It feels beautiful, but not too fussy. It feels formal, but a little relaxed. And I think creating a space that can do that for somebody is really important. The color in this room, I think, is what helps to bring it down a notch. It doesn't have so much of the silver tones and the high gloss metal that creates more of a formal space. And so I think that balance is what I'm always looking for in a room.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.